This episode of The Extraordinary Keys for Life with Julia Anais is brought to you by Synergy for the Soul, working together to help you shift paradigms, envision a better life, empower your mind to live a better version of life through educating via workshops, retreats and events. For more information, head to our Facebook page, Synergy for the Soul. Next up, podcast episode 1, introducing Julia Anais.
Hello and welcome to my podcast series, The Extraordinary Keys for Life. I'm Julia Anais, author, mindset transition educator and creative visionary. I'm proudly mum to 3 wonderful boys who I thank my lucky stars and their dad for every single day. Recently, I've become a grandmother to a gorgeous baby girl who has, as you can imagine, lit up my world even more. While my dreams include living, loving and laughing every day and appreciating every moment which I'm in, it may seem little to some. Truth is, I'm not too caught up in the bigger things in life because I like to trust in the little things which I know do ultimately enhance the bigger picture. As they say, from little things, big things grow. Which brings me to my book, Extraordinarily Ordinary, Eyes Wide Open to Wonder. This certainly grew from little things, but we have to start somewhere, right? Publishing this was a most unexpected turn of the tide after my career spanning 25 plus years in the corporate environment came to an abrupt end. In 2013, there were a lot of major crises unfolding in my life, including the residual effects of personal tragedies, health concerns, a young adult family pushing boundaries, and a near breakdown due to an awful bullying situation which eventuated in my workplace and really tipped the scales. It was tough times. This led me to a place of trying to find better ways to function in daily life for my own sanity and to enable me to show up better for my family as well as in every task I set myself to. But first and foremost, it took me to stop. At nearly 50, I finally made time to catch my breath and find stillness, and I discovered a sanctuary in writing. More than ever, I discovered profound reassurance for my own personal beliefs, values, and worth, realizing that sometimes we get lost in our own story. Ultimately, this helped me understand my pitfalls, restoring my feeling of belonging in the human race, love for myself, and real worth. So I was inspired to publish this accumulated newfound knowledge, in the hope it could empower others to see their true value. While some may say at times my journey seemed a little kooky, in fact, many readers have said my story is very human and relatable. You know, sometimes we assume things about others' lives, despite not knowing the truth of what is going on behind the scenes. And so I've become a real enthusiast in reminding myself to be kind always, to myself and everyone I come into contact with. Getting my life back on track has taken some effort and a lot of courage. It's been a bit like learning to reuse muscles in the gym, actually. We have to work to build them up, right? But I found it has absolutely been worth it. The benefits of which have been finding a much more peaceful state of mind, improved health, including even having a 13-year-old chronic illness go into remission. Now at the age when many are winding down and thinking ahead to retirement, I have much more zest for life than ever. Funnily enough, constant change has always been my address since I was young. And finally, I'm able to find comfort within the resources I've gathered, which assure and stabilise me even when curveballs are thrown my way. As well, they have helped me feel absolutely capable of navigating my forward trek. So I find myself now just going with the sentiment, a rolling stone gathers no moss. Currently, I'm writing 4 more books. I know, right? Lots of tabs open in this mind, but it works for me. Actually, as an author, I was invited recently for an interview with our local community radio station. The host cited he considers I now have a real job. I tend to agree with him. You see, in my own words, which ironically I wrote long before I turned over a new leaf, there's something in this life we can't explain, something in the universe controlling our way, a greater force dragging us along, something you can trust will stand the test of time. Indeed, I have found recognising my need to shift the gears of life has taught me, if you want to change your world, you have to start with yourself. I must say, connecting to a lot of self-development resources played a big part. I definitely know I could not have done this work on my own. It took a lot of support from many mentors to help me sift through the mud cake of mess at that point I'd found myself in. Adopting the words of a distant mentor who recently spoke and said, "In the little ordinary child is the extraordinary dream trying to get out." You know, I believe we all deserve the chance to live our fullest life. Even when we're physically ill, we still have dreams, right? For me, it's more than a dream. It is truly my deepest desire to share how possible it really is to follow those dreams. So I ask, what's your dream? What's your discipline? Recent research from McKinsey & Company Leadership based in the US tells us that the key to driving personal achievement and feeling inspired in life requires having a well of physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual strength. So, from personal experience, I'd like to pass on to you how to create that well to draw from. The podcast series of 8 to follow will bring interviews with some of the main mentors who I have worked with. Kawina Gordon, a 91-year-old spiritual mentor, motivational coach and inspirational speaker who I've worked closely with for the past 4 years. Dolores Palavra, a psychotherapist who was the beautiful, warm first facilitator of the development course I attended, and David Laws, a spiritual, intuitive, professional guide, philosophical teacher and speaker mentor who quite literally planted the first seeds of wisdom for me. They'll each be joining us live to chat throughout this series, and we'll discuss the learnings from a selection of part 2 of my book. Together we'll explore key topics: intuition, life is short, circle of life, spirit of you, finding your people, magic of manifesting, trusting the process, mind power, which have helped me tap into the extraordinarily ordinary I've discovered life can offer. In these pages, I've certainly learned there are so many possibilities to restore faith in the bigger picture, and I can't wait to share them with you. Thank you for listening in today. I'd love for you to join us for the rest of this series. And if you think someone else you know could benefit, please share this podcast with them. Coming up in episode 2, we'll discuss intuition, the vibes, instincts and inklings which most of us feel even if we don't know it. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Julia Anais and Wooshka. Website and YouTube are currently in the works, and you can get the book online at amazon.com or barnesandnoble.com. Remember, never underestimate the vibe of life, and you are the pen to your own book. I look forward to joining you again soon in episode 2. Bye now.